And we move into the hot corner, buddy. We go to Dalton's hot corner, put some more money in your pocket. What do you have for us?
Yeah, I think this pick has won. The last time I picked a game, I think we've won 3 in a row when we picked a game on it, which is pretty fun.
There you go.
Tomorrow night, there's an underdog that I don't think should be an underdog, and it's the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles are home underdog, something that we will not see very often this year. Plus 116 right now, hosting the Atlanta Braves. I like Baltimore here for a couple reasons. For one, Albert Suarez, their 34-year-old reclamation project of a starter, has been awesome. The Cespedes Barbicast did a great piece on him a few weeks ago on their podcast. Definitely would recommend listening to that if you can find it. But he's got a crazy story, Albert Suarez.
Yeah.
And if you look at what he's been doing lately, he's been lights out. 0.95 ERA in May. And that's, 19 innings. He converted to a starter for his last 3. And over those 3, he hasn't given up, given up 3 runs over those 3 starts. So the guy's been really good. We know that this offense that he's facing right now in the Braves is not exactly playing well. I think the reason the Braves are a favorite is because Max Fried is pitching. I'm never going to sit here and argue to you that Max Fried is not great. But this is also a guy that over his last 3 starts has averaged 8 innings per start. Potentially a little bit of fatigue here pitching on the road in Baltimore. But the real kicker for me is Baltimore's bullpen's been pitching better lately. The lineup's been hitting better lately. Baltimore against lefties this year, number 2 in baseball with a WRC plus of 131. For those of you who don't know what that means they've been 31% better than average against left-handed pitching this year, grading against a curve where 100 is average. So Orioles crush lefties. They play great at home. Fans should be pumped up with Atlanta coming to town. I like them as an underdog plus 116 hosting Max Fried in Atlanta. Mike, I got one question for you, by the way. Orioles number 2 in baseball in WRC plus against left-handed pitching this season. What team is number 1?
Okay. Do I get a hint or no? Do I just have to answer
just
this?
Give me a
guess. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to go with, because you're asking, I'm going to go with the Dodgers.
Correct.
I know you too well, buddy.
And it's funny, man, because we've talked a lot this year about how the Dodgers over the last several years have been a team that don't hit lefties well. Tell you what, man, going out and signing Teoscar Hernandez, that'll help.
I'm telling you, man, Yankee killer Teoscar Hernandez.
Yeah. So,
drives me crazy.
Number 1 baseball against lefties, which I just would not have seen coming preseason.
I don't think so either. I think we kind of looked at that as a potential weakness for the Dodgers, and it just simply hasn't been. I have a feeling that, going forward, you're going to like quizzing me on stuff. I don't know. It seems to put a different smile on your face when you think you can stump me.
It's not like stumping people is always fun, but it's more like when you just spend time reading about what's going on in the baseball world, you find yourself stumbling on like nuggets that are just shocking, right?
Yeah, right.
Like I just had this thought earlier today where I was like, I wonder like who's the reason that the Brewers are where they're at, like, right? Like once we decided that as a topic, I'm like, I want to look into this. And one of the first things that popped up when you go to Teams Baseball Reference page is their top 12 in WAR, and I was like, dude, I don't recognize half these guys by their face, and that's
right.
That's alarming for me. So this is the stuff that makes baseball great, just the constant oddities.
No, and I was being dead serious. Like I didn't know that I could name 12 Brewers players. Like I just didn't know. Like I don't watch the Brewers that closely to where I know their roster back and front. I just don't.
I need you locked in on Bally Sports Wisconsin. All right, Brian Anderson, play-by-play, one of the best in baseball. I need you locked in.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He really is. But all right, that does it for us. Dalton, you have any closing words before we say goodbye to the beautiful people that we're talking to right now?
Well, I hope Corey Seager can come back from his injury and play the next few nights at Dodger Stadium. He deserves a massive ovation from Dodger fans, and I really hope to get the opportunity to give him one because I know they will. This is kind of, and I know I'm just talking about the Dodgers again, but with Texas and Kansas City coming to town, I would really like to see the Dodgers put up a good week at home here and put some of this weird back and forth baseball behind him. This would be a great week to put a strong stretch together against some good ball clubs.
Yeah. By the way, you saying that the catching tandem of Austin Wells and Jose Trevino not being an offensive threat. Well, Jose Trevino just hit a 2-run single off Seth Lugo. So how you like them apples?
Hey, Jose Trevino, he plenty of value as a ball player, right?
Oh yeah, dude. As good of a defensive catcher as he is, like he's hitting like 270. Like it's not like he's like a liability with the bat. Like,
look, if he can hit 270, that's a great player. You know what I mean,
saying, dude? It's like the guy's kind of good.
I mean, hell, if he can hit 225, he's valuable with that.
That's
so yeah,
right. Who'd you have for survivor pool this week? You survived with the Guardians last week, man.
Yeah, just barely. But it leaves. I got the Twins. They're hosting the Rockies, and then they're hosting the A's. If you can't salvage a split with those two teams coming to town, then I'll be in.
I took your advice on the Diamondbacks this week because I forget what's on their schedule, but it's weak.
I think it's the White Sox and the Rockies.
It's the Angels. They are home against the Angels and home against the White Sox. If they can't make something out of that, like, come on, dude. But
you would think.
You really would think. By the way, shout outs to Logan O'Hoppy for walking it off last night. Long Island kid, proud of you. That's really good stuff.